Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? 'Cause I sure as heck ain't. Um, it's 2:16 in the morning West Coast time. It's the 19th of March, 2024. I'm a bit flustered. I'm a bit flustered. I should have been following this one, and I hadn't. So I'm not quite sure what they're looking for at this point. Uh, what the hell am I looking at anyway? MSNBC reports. It's too damn early. It's way too early show on the MSNBC. No, something that caught my attention that yesterday that should have been blaring in my head, and there was other things taking more precedence. Um, I should have figured this one since this judge out in Florida really screwed things up left and right. Federal Judge Elaine Cannon in the district court that she's overseeing at that point, or in, and she got the case I think handed to her, or she probably got it somehow. She's definitely a Trumper because she was appointed by Trump. Too damn young to have a federal case of this manner, but she's going to do everything she can, apparently, to ruling Trump's favor one way or another. Maneuver it that way. Jack Smith, the federal prosecutor, going against Trump. He's got a he's got decisions to make at this point over here. He's got to confront her in the court, get clarification on what the hell she's talking about when it comes down for the Presidential Records Act. We've heard a lot about it. Presidential Records Act is, as far as I understand, about the situation here. When every time there's a person coming into office for the executive, and they're going to be making decisions, making notes, calls, whatever, everything's recorded for posterity and for public record and scrutiny afterwards. Everything in the office of the executive branch, in the highest executive, we're talking about the Oval Office, you are under constant scrutiny. Even your sleep patterns are constant scrutiny. If you happen to get a headache, that's under scrutiny right there. If you take Tylenol, you're going to be scrutinized on that damn thing. If you're going to be sneezing, you're going to be under scrutiny. You catch my drift on this one? You're going to make anything said or done in office. It's going to be recorded for record and posterity. Your ass is under tight scrutiny. So when you start making notations or recordings or anything like that, they are going to be in public record. Even if it's going to be classified stuff, it's still going to be listed as classified records until later on it gets declassified. Maybe or maybe not. But you don't take them home with you. You may get your own snapshots, make a request through different departments to get copies of stuff. But anything original doesn't get thrashed or recycled or anything. No, it gets saved and scrapped. Even if you're doodling, it gets saved. So imagine your classified materials that you've been dealing with other countries, other foreign relations stuff. Not exactly considered public, and it's still subject to scrutiny, but it still has to be put on the record that you did some stuff, unless it gets declassified somehow. That's a long process for that one to get done. Executive branch doesn't exactly have all the power. You got different branches of doing so. You just can't think, well, I'm the president. I'm just going to declassify everything with the thought of my head. Everything's declassified. That's what Trump did and brought classified materials that would even disrupt the United States one way or another. And he called it his personal stuff, tossed in with his other personal junk. Started out 1 or 2 years ago that he had to do this shit when he left office. And there are departments screaming for this stuff to be archived. Took them long enough. Had to get the FBI to get the stuff. It took them months to get it from Trump. And now he's being charged federal crimes for holding classified data as soon as they found out what the hell the material was. Because now they should have been charging him under espionage. But he says, no, I'm the president. I can declassify anything I want. Okay. Presidential Records Act is H.R. 13500 according to Congress.gov. In it is the public law for this thing. This is a statute on the record of what the hell it is. It's telling you that you have to go through legal steps to get everything else declassified in order for you to keep it as personal. And they still have to make the distinction whether or not it's going to be worthwhile to keep or not. Just as military personnel can't talk about or divulge anything they've gone through unless they've already gone through declassification processes through the Pentagon. If they said this, okay, we can do disclose this for public records, there's got to be even more departments beyond the Pentagon that can actually allow this to happen. To see whether or not if it is logistical or not. Say, for an example, you are part of the military, and we get called into another damn war. Let's just say we're going to pick on a country here. We're going to call up on XYZ. XYZ has been a pain in the ass. They're a dictator at this point. Wants to rule the world. Right. And because they want to rule the world, they're going to do some actions. Okay, they do some actions, piss off the world's governments at this point over here, in order to get this guy and his troops placated or pacified, or whatever kind of terminology you're going to use at this point over here. Make him turn away from the action he's going to do. In order to do that, there had to be some kind of, maybe some military operations happening. And if there were military operations happening, you get people called up with their specialties, go in, do the job, whatever it is, and come right back out. And what would the press know about it is some things happened over there to turn the tide of the war. Reporters do their ferreting, and they find out certain aspects happened. There are certain types of mission parameters and requirements. Actions were taken, decisions done. Goes up the chain of command. Executive has to sign off on the damn stuff. Pentagon already declared the actions happening on XYZ. Let's say if I'm going to be using Street Fighter lingo on this one. The country being Shadaloo. And you got Bison. So now you have a covert operation team of Street Fighters going in there, doing their job to stop the thing and go out. All under the UN auspices or even the United States military, just to stop an action. But certain actions in there could be recorded and other actions could not, because of classification. The mission was classified. Something of that importance, or even a little bit of strategic importance, may or may not be worthy enough to note. So therefore, you have the special ops material people go in, do their job on Shadaloo, pissed off by Bison enough to where Bison says, all right, for now. Okay, so you got part 2 or part 3 in this damn thing. But part 1, your team already went in, did its job, came out. With no public fanfare, but somehow the knowledge got leaked to the press. Now you got an issue here. What kind of actions were taken? What kind of decisions were made? What was the actions involved in the situation? Who were the team members? What were they doing? A lot of questions maybe the press would be asking about this one. Who was the commanding officer? What the hell happened out there? Did we have any casualties? Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But if there was any casualties, was it considered a training accident? Maybe they were training for the mission, for a mission. There's only so much leeway that you can use at this point over here. 20 years later, or 30 years later, we're in a different stage. There's another situation happening in Shadaloo. But this time, the light of the first action comes up. You got a different president out there who likes to screw around with the damn presidential records. He reads about this stuff. Ooh, it's comic book reading for this guy. He loves to read this stuff. Oh, he just got voted out of office. Okay, so he spent about a term in office already, and he gets out. But he's going to grab all the comic books he can, aka classified materials. Well, I'm sorry, but they were comic books. There's my personal material over here. The complete dossier of every damn member of the teams that are going over there, the complete mission details and everything else. Still classified. But I'm the president of the United States, or I was, but I declassified this stuff while I was in office. It's all comic books to me. We want them comic books back. The archives want them. No, you can't. It's my personal stuff. No, it isn't. And if you don't give it to us, we're going to get the FBI to get. You can't do that to me. This is my civil rights you're violating here. No, this is presidential acts you're violating here. No, it isn't. It's my personal stuff. We're grabbing it anyway. We got a search warrant to go through your apartment, through your personal stuff to get the stuff out. No, you don't. You can't do this to me. I'm the former vice president. You can't do this to me. I'm going to sue. No, we're suing you. For what? Violating the residential the statute here. So, if you kind of follow the logic a little bit here, compared to what we've got going on right now, this is exactly the kind of thing we got here. And what happens if the president, the former president, was sharing his comic books with other people? And that material get to be copied somehow and posted around the world. So now we got classified data concerning about invading Shadaloo. We got information about the teams, about every operation concerning about the team going after Shadaloo at this point over here. It's supposed to be comic books. So now you've got a federal judge who has just been appointed to the bench by the former president. I'm seeing conflict of interest at this point over here. I don't care if this person got picked by the former president. The former president had a lot of issues and still exhibiting a lot of issues. In the present real tense, we had a president that engaged in conspiracies, engaged in riots, overthrowing the country because he didn't get his way. He didn't get back into the country. Basically, he didn't get his job back so he can be ruler again and do whatever he was going to be doing. He had tasted ultimate power by being an executive branch. But now he's not. Judge Cannon is one of those people that Trump pulled out of the hat, I think, somewhere. Installed her because he felt like he could use these people left and right for his own nefarious situation. So this is what he's doing. In order to find out what the hell happened in Shadaloo, we have to have that stuff declassified for the public to see this thing. But what she's asking the people to do, if they happen to get into a jury trial, and she's looking for the hypothetical to get Trump off one way or another, because if the questions cannot be answered to the judge's specifications. We're talking about producing material in front of people that they're not even cleared yet for classified material. They haven't even done any jury selections or anything. But she's doing this. It's another delay. You know, my brother had been in the military. And when you do service in the military, there are things you can talk about and other things you can't talk about. For example, let's say if you had two jobs in the military. One of the jobs was being the chef's cook or mess specialist. The other, classified. My brother probably could tell me different ways of how to cook food, how to crack the eggs correctly, how to cook a turkey. But when it came down for his other job, or actually, I see, mess specialist, okay, trained in on shore for that, and the first crew, first ship, he was mess, but then he was also a boiler technician. A fact. My brother could tell me how to boil water one way or another, or how to tear apart a steam engine, how to get pressure going on. He could have been a plumber, but no, he wasn't. But he could do plumbing because he worked on plumbing on board a ship. He could have been gone through a trade school of plumbing, and he didn't because his primary was classified. And that he was more proud of than being a boiler technician. Besides the ships going offline, the boiler techs are in the nukes now. Maybe one boiler, but nuclear powered now. They still need a boiler of sorts, I think, to warm up the water. You still have to have some kind of mechanics going along. Even a land-based reactor system, if you're going to be powering up electricity to everybody else, still needs coolant water. Or if you're going into hydroelectricity, there are turbines out there. Water going through the turbines, or actually going through whatever they got to go through to produce the electricity necessary to power up homes. You still have to have a supply of water. In the boilers, it's jet fuel, basically. JPX, I think, or JP5, that they used back in the 70s. He was a boiler technician back in the 70s to 80s. But he also had another job, Naval Special Warfare. Some people will probably get off of talking about this thing. So, why, brother, my family member did this and this and this. It's exciting. I'm thinking to myself, oh, great, put a target on his head, why don't you? He didn't want to talk about this stuff because that would put a target on his ass. Well, you can talk about boiler technician. You can talk about anything else in the damn Navy. Even how to fix food. But when it comes to the other stuff, he was tight-lipped on it. Because he kept telling me it was classified. Other people say, he may be scamming on you. Yeah, well, if you're in the military and you happen to talk to other guys in the military, they were tight-lipped about their missions, even to everybody else. If there were civilians in the area that weren't cleared, they weren't talking about anything else. They're talking about different things. Because we didn't have the need to know. I'm like, okay, fine. Keep your secrets. I don't give a shit. That's fine. At least you came home safe and sound. What we're dealing with is when somebody doesn't have that kind of experience or understanding about the military a bit, doesn't care. Once you get the taste of power in your mouth, you don't care. You want more of it, and you'll say and do anything else because you've got the power. You think you can control anything and everything, and the law is not applied to you. That's the problem these days. In this situation over here, when you think you got the money and you had power in your mouth, you can do and say anything else you want because you are that ego. And that's what's happening these days. Candace is like the same situation. She's already got it. She's already got the taste of it. And now she's in a situation where she's going to have to make decisions. And if she's going to be deciding on Trump's side. She's showing favoritism, not what the law is, but she's showing personal favoritism. Jack Smith is going to have a hell of a time on this one to tell the appellate court on this one, the federal appellate court, about the situation happening. Even the chief judge of the district, the federal district out there, letting them know that we have a conflict here, Judge. She's not going with the law. She's going with who got her appointed, and she's throwing in case scenarios that have nothing to do with it. We're putting civilians at risk, and we're putting the country at risk of making them determinate, even from a hypothetical question. Make them determinate what's personal and what's not. So, which means anything, even classified material, has to be shown to people not cleared. And how do we know these people are not going to be going out there and spilling out the secrets left and right? But she don't care about that. She's trying to find one way to get Trump off. It's becoming blatant, apparent at this point. Doing anything to delay the situation. And they're doing a very good job at the damn thing, too. So now what do we do? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Because it's going to be up to to courts to decide on this one. It's going to have to go to the federal appellate, and if the appellate says they can't make a decision, bump it up to SCOTUS. SCOTUS is going to have a field day over this damn shit and bump it down to lower. If they're going to take this one, is it going to be a precedent? Or is this just going to be another Trumplicant ruling at this point? Yesterday, while I was doing some other videos and checking things out, something closer to home was happening here. Okay, boys and girls, dig out your Google Maps. Put in Rosamond, California. At the extreme edge on the right-hand side, actually on the east side where Edwards Air Force Base, you see Rosamond Boulevard, right? In that territory is where I live. Within a block or two, right behind an apartment complex, is a trailer home area. Well, close to ours, close to me anyway. Called the Rosamond Mobile Home Park. Spitting distance. Spitting distance from my apartment. We had homes in the back. We had trailers in the back on fire. We had this huge smoke cloud going right above everything, and I'm thinking it's a storm cloud. I didn't think at the time when I'm sitting outside my window, the drapes were pulled open, I would probably see this damn thing. It didn't occur to me that we had the trailer home, we had the trailers in the back of this home on fire again. It's normally in the section that they would actually launch fireworks at, or launch fireworks from. The aerial assaults. Some of the kids are like, ooh, ah. I'm thinking, oh shit, here comes another fire. So yesterday, yeah, we had a couple of them. We had our fire department come out with all 4 engines and take care of the damn thing, and I didn't even hear the damn engines. I was probably listening or doing something else that got my attention so badly. Around 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I'm thinking, okay, after that, I'm going to go take a nap. It didn't occur to me there was a fire being right out there outside my window. Nothing. What the hell was I thinking at the time? Holy crap. You talking about being oblivious about everything. Good Lord. I think that's what really got to me. Besides the Trump situation that I heard. And I'm thinking, what? Nah. Until I was starting to hear and read more, I'm thinking, oh crap, here we go again. He'll do anything to stay in power. And then if that was one piece of news, and the other piece of news is Trump's still having problems liquidating stuff to get money for a bond for his courts, for his cases that he's dealing with, both civil at this point, not federal, just civil, dealing with the states. And in New York, he's got a problem with one, and they're having a conniption fit over this. Aren't we having fun yet? So yeah, the menagerie and the nightmare continues on this one. That was just really, really, really fun. But for me, it isn't fun because we are dealing with things that I never thought we'd be dealing with right now as it is. I think in Ohio or one of the other red states that they had, somebody had put up a martial arts exhibit a few weeks back, and put up a dummy where people can hit it and kick at it and headbutt the damn thing. Somebody thought it was funny to put Biden's face on it, put a mask. And so now you've got these old farts who don't like Biden. They're beating the crap out of this damn thing. And now that damn thing went viral. So now I got the independents laughing and chuckling and chortling on this damn thing. I'm like, give me a break. What is with you morons? But no, they're doing this crap. They're doing this crap. How to drive me crazy on that one. Okay. Colorado. Can we talk about Colorado? More? Okay, next vid.